Okay, my friends, I just finished a video, and hold on to your hats and keep your socks glued to your feet, because this is one of those that are going to blow both ends off. Here goes. Okay, we're going to go into the stuff Greg got from the East Coast dragon. I believe that's some actual dragon flesh. Blood came out. Dragon skin we have here. Feathers we have here. That's the thickness of the feather. The dragon scales right there. They lock right in just like that, like terracotta tiles. And you have the same structure here, and I think that's part of a feather. I'm not certain, but we're looking at things now. And where do you see what Greg discovered relating to this temple? So I get this picture from Greg this morning. He says, look at these dragons. This is a sealed door in some temple somewhere in India. And I'm sort of looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, that's interesting. And then he says, look at these things coming off of the jaw. Which, you know, it's kind of interesting. Little flaily looking things coming down. Look at that thing. This is a serious looking place. And they say if you open this door, the whole world could be destroyed. I don't know. So he homes in on it a little closer, and we take a little look at that, and then go and check this out. Well, you see the same thing. Now this is from South America. The other thing is from India. But that is the same looking snake as far as I'm concerned. So now this is the one on the East Coast, the East Coast dragon. I did a couple of videos on this. And this is the one Greg went and we saw the videos and we started talking, and he went and started doing actual cave explorations and he went out to the places that he saw on Google Earth and picked up these items at those places. So that's pretty good work as far as I'm concerned. Now, that's the East Coast dragon head coming out the Missouri Delta, really. And those are those two spiky looking things. I believe that's what Greg's take is, and I believe he's right. Because these are the fluty looking things going up in the air. You have to go and look at the videos of the dragon. I go pretty deep into it, well, deep as I can get. But you can actually see the flutes coming off of his head. Now we're looking at these little flails coming off of the chin. And all the dragon scales are there. Now this is where he went on the East Coast and picked up some of these dragon scales from these areas. You know, that's from Google Earth. This is a housing development over here. That's roads. So we're not talking any little spots here. What Greg does so well is he compares things. This is the dragon in Morocco to the patterns of the dragon on the East Coast. And you make these comparisons, people can pick up a little better on. I'm not really good at them. I just sort of flail away at things, you know, and I show things I think are pretty obvious, but you know, it's better to see them side by side. That's just a fact. So I went to the Morocco dragon and I looked, and it does seem to have a similar looking, flaily looking thing coming out of that same area. Now, I never noticed that, and if Greg hadn't pointed out the other things, I would have never revisited this, but I don't know. But it is absolutely the dragon, and this is the dragon in Morocco, and it is attacking the fish down below. And this is the dragon you see in the Oriental parades and stuff. They have this little fluty looking stuff going down their sides, all that stuff, and you know, the red fiery eye and all these things. It's the same dragon, as far as I'm concerned, as you see in the Oriental ones. Now, the ones we looked at the door, they don't look the same, and they have all kinds of different serpents and nagas. Let's look at a couple of quick things. All right, now Kim, she didn't want me to use her last name, but Kim has a naga head, and it's absolutely 100% certain it's real. I did the autopsy on it, and I can guarantee that. Now, they say this is a bestower of fortune. This is a white Naga, and that's as close as we could get to what she has. And this is the Glycon white Naga, once worshipped at Tomis, now in Romania on the Black Sea. A goddess, Vasuki's sister, I don't know. There's all kinds, I mean, there's so many stories about these things, so many different variations. Some of them got 7 heads, some, well, let's just keep going. Now this is Kim's Naga head, and she keeps it outside because it scares her. But I'm telling you, I looked at this. The back of the head is cracked. It's got a crown that is part of the head. It's got the different textures of the skin and the eyes and the lips. It's got the cracks in the places they should be. That nobody can make these cracks. They go very deep because that's the nature of the tissues. And the veins and arteries and all that stuff are underneath. So, and you can actually see the tongue coming up, and it actually has 2 flares on the tongue where it came out. So, I'm telling you, it's real. All right, there's a vein and artery coming up into the underneath the neck. Now look at this. That's the opening of the mouth. That's where the front of the mouth is. You see these 2 things? That's where the tongue comes up over into the opening of the mouth. And your vein and arteries over in this area, and the same other blood stuff coming through here. This, if you know how to look at things, you understand. There's some kind of bone. You know, that's just like in you. You got the vertebrae come up, and you know that's where your neck hooks in. But that's what this thing is. It's real. And the reason she's got all this stuff on her, she makes fabulous the doll sculptures of very interesting creatures. So she was just sort of dressing this up, playing around. But that is the throat. That's the throat right there, and there's a tongue. All right, I still have people saying, oh, there's no such thing as dragons after I show them all this stuff. Well, if that's your feeling, that's fine, but there is. Now, this is beyond science, and this is that story about this sealed door with the dragons on, and it is just absolutely phenomenal. Mysterious sealed temple door no one can open. They have not opened this door. This is the name of a whatever, that Swami temple in India's most popular, most sacred temples. Now, and there's a ton of temples there that are dedicated to Vishnu, and this is the most important one. Sri Parabhavama, the central Vishnu icon, reclines on serpent Amatha and so forth, and there's a golden pose. You have to really go up and do some of this work yourself, because there's just so much to it. But the whole story here is that there was a bunch of doors, and nobody could get through the doors, and then they decided to go ahead and open them. This family took control of this place in 1729, and they said that they weren't taking care of it well, so the Supreme Court intervened, and they went in to categorize what was in this place. And they filed the case in Supreme Court, and as a result, the proceeding Supreme Court appointed a 7-member committee to explore the temple and to document all its belongings. Now, I guess they say now it could be $1 trillion worth of stuff in there. You know, I'm just going to sort of quickly go through it. Upon opening the door, at least $22 billion worth of gold idols, elephants, necklaces, coins, discovered, assorted jewelry, ceremonial costumes, solid gold, coconut shells studded with jewels. I mean, and the diamonds, just gigantic diamonds and so forth. So now it's well guarded. And then there's this door. That is the one that Greg sent me about. And those are the serpent gods. And this is sealed. Nobody's been behind there. They don't know what's back there. And they do have stories that they could destroy the whole world if it's open. Now, looking at that guy, I might believe that. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. There is so much that's been uncovered just recently that just it's not something that you can just quickly assess. But I can tell you one thing. They wrote stories that were not just to scare little kids. The stories they were writing were because they were interacting with these creatures and all over the world. So what does that mean? They say some of them were nasty, some of them were nice, some benevolent, some of them ate everybody. I mean, what do you take away from that? All I can boil this down to, in my own mind, is that they were just like us. Some of them were nice, some of them were nasty. It's just, I guess, that's how we're going to have to leave it. Alright, I'm just going to quickly go over the story behind it. This is the 6th door. They opened up 5 doors that they could get through with a great deal of trouble. It says a 7th member committee was able to open 5 of these vaults with exceptional difficulty. Now, this last one, they have no clue how to get in there. There's no hinges or locks or anything. It's just a sealed door. And this is called the Mysterious Chamber B. In fact, Chamber B is not part of the documented temple treasury. No one knows what lies beyond its gates. It is said that the chamber is holy in nature, as it houses an idol of Sri Paramba and many valuables of mystic origin. It is said that the chamber may very well have walls of solid gold and may even contain the largest undiscovered treasure in the world history. Unfortunately, the only thing people have seen is its gates guarded by 2 enormous embossed cobras. They're not cobras, they're dragons. In fact, aside from these, the steel door of Chamber B does not have any bolts, latches, or any other means of entry. Much of the fascination of the committee members, Chamber B has in fact 3 doors. The first one has metal grills on it and is only visible to the naked eye, is accessible like the other chambers. However, they discovered a second wooden door behind it. Upon unlocking this door came yet another door, a menacing door made of iron, and was slammed shut. There appears to be no way of getting through it. It's said that any human attempts are made with technology to open the door will unleash an unspeakable calamity on the city. Some even say opening the door against its will can release unspeakable horrors throughout India and perhaps the rest of the world. I would go with that one myself. All right, Mudfossil University, it's a whole new universe. It's a brand new day if you open your eyes.